Hey, Dad, I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
I'm Dr. David Wilson, president of Morgan State University, and you are watching BearTV. The Morgan State Homecoming is the best of all homecomings in America, period. To see our Morgan Bears take the field and really represent the university with pride, and everybody is rooting for the right outcome, and 9 times out of 10 we have the right outcome. And then to see the alums and our students so excited to see the band performing and our students into the school spirit, that is nothing like Morgan State University Homecoming Week. I really am just energized when I think of Homecoming Week, because I know that there's so much energy on the campus, and I like to walk the campus, feel the energy. The alums start to make their way back to the campus on Sunday before the Saturday game, and so I prepare by basically being next to students and around students and in conversation with students, and being around alums and having conversations with them, and their energy gives me just so much more energy. And that is really just something that I could never ever imagine having experienced anywhere else but Morgan State University. When I hear this song, you got to get off. You got to get up. You got to get up. You got to get up. And stand up, and you got to move, and you got to move with the energy, because the football stadium is rocking, the students are rocking, the band is playing, and I tell you, when I hear that, there's no way I can sit down anywhere. I have to get up and move with the energy in the stadium, and move with the students, and move with the crowd, and really get into the incredible spirit of homecoming.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Okay, so hi guys, I'm Courtney Lene. I am from San Francisco, California. I am a senior. My major is multimedia journalism, and yeah. So I have about, I want to say 9 to 12 tattoos. I haven't counted in a long time, but yeah, we about to go through them right now. I'm far from home right now. Like, I'm from Cali, which is like right here, and I'm all the way in Baltimore, which is like right here. So I don't get to see my family and the people that I really care about all the time. So like, and my mama don't got no iPhone, which is just wild. Like, that's another story. But whenever I like miss them, I could just look down and be like, oh, they're with me. Like, that's, you know, it's corny, but it's still cute. So this represents me. Then this is my mom, and then this is my brother. This is my best friend. This is my mentor, and this is my grandparents. So when people come into my life that are like really influential and aspiring and, you know, just like positive, I get like an extra rose tatted on me just to represent them. I wanted me to be like at the front, the center, whatever, the top. And yeah, I just wanted the vine to like wrap around me and just stay with me. And like the wrapping symbol means like they're always like this. Like, that's what I thought when I was like getting it. Like, they're always hugging me and they're always around me and they're always like making sure that I'm good. The second one, Hamsa is a Middle Eastern symbol, and it promotes positivity, good fortune, rebirth. And yeah, that's what I believe in all that. And I have the lotus flower, and like lotus flowers, even in like the dirtiest water, they still produce the most beautiful flower. And like that speaks to me the most, because I've been through some stuff, and you know, like even though I've been through it, like I'm still this right now and I'm still awesome. So it's just cool. So what I think my tattoos say about me is that I'm edgy and I'm creative and beautiful, because I think tattoos are all that.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
In your face, in your face.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
supporters, anyone that's viewing this is having a great Thanksgiving Day, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. I appreciate you guys. So let's go see what's going on downstairs.
Happy Thanksgiving from me and the fam. I'm thankful for not being a bum.
And I'm so thankful today to be with my family to celebrate Thanksgiving and know that I didn't take it for granted. We're not taking it for granted. It's by the grace of God.
Thanksgiving! Coming home and safe. Everybody's having a great time. I am so thankful to have a family of this magnitude.
Happy Thanksgiving! Thankful that I have two beautiful goddaughters, blessed and saved by Jesus Christ.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Be thankful, fruitful, and enjoy the holidays from all the love and family that we can give you. And I'm down as always, KB. All your riding.
Hold this. So, we missed the surprise, but we made it for the food.
I was so surprised. They tricked me all week. Thanksgiving, everybody's coming in, and I'm thinking, calling the girls, calling my baby, said, "Oh, goodbye."
Yeah, it was like, "Okay, bye. See you next time."
See you next time. Not knowing that they're gonna have a big surprise for me today. Going out there, tricked me up. Get your nails done, get your hair done. And I'm been lazy, didn't want to leave the house. So they finally got me out. Then when I walked through the door, everybody's here. Oh, surprise! So much. I love you.
Don't let anyone tell you anything different. Because without family, I'm telling you, there's no way and there's no backup. Family is unconditional love. So my thought for today is always love and respect your family. Thank you.
Well, Thanksgiving's over. We over here celebrating birthday. I know half of the people. I don't know everybody.
Forget it. Hey y'all, we are back with another video today. And today's video is actually going to be my Jordan sneaker collection. So just a little backstory. I accumulated all of my sneakers, well, all of my Jordans in high school. In high school, I was working at Foot Locker for about 2 years. And, you know, just being a young teenager, working at a shoe store, that's where all my money went. So I actually don't wear any of my Jordans now. Like, if anybody knows me knows, oh yeah, Cheyenne never wears her Jordans. But a lot of people don't know that I actually have quite a few pairs of Jordans. So without further ado, we're just gonna jump right into the video.
Hi guys, so it's Free again. I am back for a new vlog and this is going to be the last one. I know you guys are sad, but I might be back. But in the meantime, please like, share the video, comment, subscribe to my channel, and yep, let's go. So hey guys, so as you guys can see, I'm back and I am actually wearing some sport clothes because we are about to work out together today, okay? So yeah, let's go, let's get it. So yep, we're done with our workout, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed. And so yeah, you know, it's some basic stuff that you guys can do. But yeah, thank you for watching my vlog. I hope that you guys enjoy. And you know, please don't forget, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, share the video, and yep, maybe I see you guys, or maybe I won't, but yeah.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his
I
backpack.
can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
You know, young rich, you know, so we ain't really never had no old money. We got a whole lot of new money though.
If young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Hey!
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To
not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
Welcome to Versa, Morgan State's look on in-depth storytelling. I'm David Lawrence. Consider this. The odds of a high school tennis player making an NCAA Division I program, 1 in 100. On the contrary, 1 out of every 3 Division I tennis players are foreign-born. For our first story, we look into these trends and answer the question, why? Meet Peggy, Orion, and Lucas. Peggy hails from Sweden, while Orion and Lucas are natives of France. Like their backgrounds, their interests into the game of tennis are different.
Yeah, so like they always encouraged me like to just do whatever I like to do, and I know like I love playing tennis, so that it was a good opportunity for me to play college tennis because it just allowed me to have like a good education and keep like playing tennis, the sport I love.
I started playing because my dad took me to like a sports center when I was 4 or something. And I saw someone play tennis, and suddenly I was like yelling to him like I need to play tennis. So they put me in like a mini tennis kind of thing, and I just kept going.
Okay, I started playing because my mom was looking for a sport that I can play on the weekends, and tennis was like the only sport in the weekends. So she just picked tennis for me, and I just keep playing.
From their different paths, they have found themselves at Morgan for a common reason. And they are not the only ones. Morgan's tennis team consists of a male team that is entirely foreign-born and a female team that is majority foreign-born. Why recruit so many foreign players? Morgan State's head tennis coach Matthew Towns says it comes down to one simple factor.
At the top of your conferences, the SEC, the ACC, the Big Ten, you have to be, phenomenal players. You get to a certain point where there's only 50 players in the top 50 that you feel can be a asset to your program. So outside of that top 50 that are in America, because you have maybe 60, 70 schools, everyone can't be there. What are these teams left to do? Okay, well, all the American players that I know can help my program are all gone. So now I have to go international to find more players because I can't go to my AD and say, I lost because we can't recruit American girls. Well, you better recruit international girls. You better recruit international boys if our goal is to win.
Looking across the Middle Eastern Athletic Conference, there are 152 tennis players, according to rosters placed on university websites. Approximately 65% of those players are foreign. The only schools in the conference with majority Black American players are Howard and University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Going beyond the MEAC, there are over 5,500 tennis athletes in NCAA Division I programs. 1 out of every 3 players are foreign-born. Most come to America to be able to compete while gaining an education. Making the transition can be difficult, but our players say they enjoy it here.
I like Morgan State, like the school, the people, like I just like to meet new people and have like new experiences, so it's great to me for now.
So like at the beginning it was kind of difficult because I didn't know anybody, like I had some trouble with the language. But like the whole like tennis team was international, so it was like really easy to make friends and contact, like have like, a lot of contacts that help you. But like culture-wise it was like kind of tough to adapt at first, but like then it's just fine because like even the coaches like they have a lot of experience with international players, so they can just help you.
I recruit international and domestic players. Half of my women's team is international and my entire men's team is international. Does it directly correlate to our recruiting practices? No. That's what we're able to have right now at the time.
I'm David Lawrence for Versa.
74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Hi everyone, my name is Justin Odisho, and welcome back to another episode of Every Effect in Adobe Premiere Pro Explained. In this video, we're going to be covering the 5 effects in the image control section. To start off, we have black and white, quite self-explanatory, and there's not really any controls that you have in the effects control panel. It simply does a black and white transformation on the image, and you have your usual masking options if you wanted to. So the next one we have is color balance. Just gives you a red, green, and blue adjustment, and using red, green, blue color theory, you know, if we put more red in there, it's going to be more red. If we put less green, it's going to mix up those color channels. Probably not my first choice for color grading or color adjusting. It's quite simple of a tool, but you have a basic RGB color balance if you ever need it. The next thing we have is color pass. This is pretty interesting. It's similar to leave color. It'll desaturate the image, but it'll kind of pass over one color of your choice. So in this case, if I do red, I can increase the similarity, which is kind of like the tolerance of what kind of reds. And in this way, it'll make everything black and white except for that color. It's a little bit harsher than the leave color tool found under the color correction folder, just because you can't really adjust the softness of the edge when you're doing similarity. But depending on the video clip, it might be useful for you if you need to isolate a certain color. Going along with that, we have color replace. Again, this is similar to something in the color correction panel, which is change color and change to color. But in this one, you can choose a target color and choose something to replace it with. So if we choose everything, let's say in the green section, we can even use the ink dropper to get that exact green, and replace that with, let's say, pink. If I increase the similarity a little bit, you should see that start to happen. But that's the color replace tool. All of these have been pretty simple so far. And then lastly, gamma correction. This just allows us to adjust the brightness of an image. It starts out by 10 by default. You can increase it all the way up to 28 for a dark look, or lower it down to 1 for a bright look. Gamma increases and decreases the brightness by trying to influence the mid-tones of an image. But those are the 5 effects in the image control section. And in the next video in this series, I'm going to be going over the immersive video section, probably some of the coolest effects. So if you're not yet, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for all my new videos. And you can find all of the episodes of this series in a playlist on my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you over in the next video.
When you don't have a safe place to come home to, nothing in your world seems right.
This is a place where I don't feel alone. This
Help turn things around for a child. Become a foster parent.
Detective Pikachu. So here's the basis of the plot. Detective Harry Goodman disappears. His son, played by Justice Smith, along with his father's partner Pikachu, is trying to get to the bottom of the mystery, the bottom of the history, the bottom of the misery. The location of this film is Rhyme City. It's a place where humans and Pokemon alike can live in harmony. In certain scenes, Rhyme City looked like the neon-lit Tokyo from the classic anime Akira. What stood out to me immediately was all the life and the attitude that the Pokemon were given on screen. Even if you know just some of the basic lore of the franchise, you will enjoy some of the interactions that they have. And speaking of Pokemon lore, there's this brief scene where they show Ash Ketchum on TV. I just thought that was a really cool thing to throw in there. So here's what you already know. Ryan Reynolds as the essence and voice of Pikachu was fly. Just the concept of Ryan Reynolds being Pikachu is dope by itself. To put it simply, he's the heart of the movie. The dialogue is sharp. The writers through Pikachu managed to squeeze in some crafty jokes that could also exist in the Deadpool film. The special effects in this movie were grade A. Like I said, the Pokemon were alive. They were jumping off screen. There was maybe one or two scenes where the CGI was a little bit off, but overall it was great. I have to say, even though this movie had its moments, the story just overall just kind of felt flat to me. You know what I mean? It's like when you're watching good to great films, there's this moment where the movie and the story and the characters and all of it just pulls you in. It's like you're fully submerged in this thing, like you kind of lose yourself in the watching of it, in the moment of it. And it was like I was never fully submerged. It's like I was at the public pool. I was at the pool and I had my feet in the water. There was something missing that didn't pull me into the pool. Like I never really went swimming. Like I really wanted to love this movie. Like I really wanted that to happen. Like I wanted it to. And I also wanted more Pokemon battles. Now I had to taper back my expectations because I understood that this is a mystery / noir crime drama, if you will. However, when the Pokemon were doing Pokemon stuff, it was dope. What kept this movie afloat for me were the performances by Ryan Reynolds and Justice Smith. I would be remiss not to say this. The biggest place where this Pokemon movie wins is the point of the franchise in the first place. It's making the viewer, making the fan want to have a Pokemon. They are cute as they make you want to love them, hug them, hold them, keep them, need them. I even thought about my Anubis. So overall, if you ever love the Pokemon franchise, the video games, the movies, the cards, the show, there is something in this movie for you. However, the story was not enough to pull me in, was not enough to say this is a good to great movie. I'm giving Detective Pikachu a 6 out of 10.
We use over 500 million straws every day in America.
Most plastic straws are too lightweight to make it through the mechanical recycling sorter.
There are many alternatives to plastic straw usage, including metal, glass, and degradable straws.
For students on college campuses, simply carrying a reusable water bottle can eliminate plastic waste.
For more information, visit www.thelastplasticstraw.org.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Steven, you think they make highlighter color paper? Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and I'd love to call this a preview, but it's just a development announcement of the Canon EOS 1DX Mark III. So we had a call with Canon to go over the specs, to see some images. We can't share too much of that with you, so you're not gonna see a lot of B-roll because this is just a development announcement. But unlike Nikon, who gave us nothing when they announced the D6, Canon has given us a lot of information, as seen here by this highlighted piece of paper, aka my notes. Let's just jump in and tell you that the body is basically the same body as the 1DX Mark II and will still use the same exact battery as before. Now on the back of the camera, I'd love to show you it, but Canon didn't supply us with a picture. There is an AF button that's slightly different than the AF button on the older body. We're not really sure what it does just yet. They told us that it's going to do something, but what it is, we really can't explain to you right now. Speaking of buttons, there are now backlit buttons on the 1DX Mark III. Finally, after 4+ years, they can now match what Nikon did with the D5 and the D4S, and I believe the D850. You will find a new sensor with exactly, I can't tell you how many megapixels because they didn't tell us how many megapixels. I can assume that it's gonna be somewhere in the 20 megapixel range if I had to guess, and there will be a new digic processor which will lead to better high ISO images. Canon went on to say that this camera will have 28 times higher resolution AF points, at least in the center portion. Whatever that means, it's kind of confusing and we'll have to wait to see. I don't even know if it's any different than when Nikon updates their multi-cam autofocusing system. It just may be a better way of reading the autofocusing points. To go along with better autofocus, Canon says that they have better autofocus algorithms for when you're using the optical viewfinder for shooting or when you're shooting with live view. For those of you who think JPEG files are too big and RAW files are definitely too big, well, you're in luck because this camera will shoot 10-bit HEIF files. Or if you want to shoot these files, you probably shouldn't have spent so much money on a camera and should just use your iPhone instead. So how many frames per second can you shoot with this camera? Canon is saying 16 frames a second with that mirror flipping and flopping out of the way with AF tracking. Now, I don't know if that's true because Canon has a tendency to put some things in parentheses where they say it's 16, but is it really? Or is it 14? Well, in this case, if they're saying that it does do the tracking and 16 frames a second, it's going to be interesting to see if it actually does that, because that is a lot of frames per second with a DSLR. For those of you who wish that this camera was a mirrorless camera, well, you have the option to lock the mirror up and go into live view shooting and get 20 frames per second with AF tracking also. Now that's with the autofocus continually tracking. Is it going to do 20 frames per second? We'll have to see that, because guess what you're giving up when you're shooting with the mirror locked up? Your viewfinder. So you're gonna be somebody on the sidelines holding the monopod being like, yeah, look at the back of this LCD screen. This is such a cool way to shoot. It's not. Get an A9 if you wanna do that. And to add to that, and to add more confusion, they're saying that's with the electronic shutter as well as the mechanical shutter. Look, they're literally trying to make a DSLR that's a mirrorless camera, except put it all together, which just seems to confuse me in so many ways. Here's something I can get behind. Dual CF Express card slots in this camera. That's gonna give you a much larger buffer capacity, which becomes more important when we get into the video specs. But finally, somebody has gone to dual CF Express cards. Will Nikon do that in the D6? You do have dual pixel CMOS AF that is covering 525 selectable autofocusing points when you're in live view. That should mean that this is in essence a mirrorless camera when you shoot in live view. We know that it's a mirrorless camera when you shoot in live view, but will it be effective to be able to use the dual pixel AF and still shoot and track even though you're not shooting the quote unquote traditional way, AKA the proper way? Like this, not like this. There will be better connectivity with built-in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. And there is no mention of IBIS anywhere in the presentation that we saw, which leads me to believe you probably won't be seeing IBIS in this camera or in the Nikon D6. Now moving on to the video section of this camera, Canon says, and I quote, "Best movie shooting performance in EOS history," or as some people want to say, EOS history. You can do 10-bit 422 4K up to 60 frames per second internally, as well as with C-Log. You can also record RAW movies internally, which is a big freaking deal for a DSLR, or any camera for that matter. So how much is this camera, Steven?
We don't know.
We don't know because they didn't tell us, but if I had to guess, I'm gonna say somewhere around $6,800. So basically, this is going to be the greatest Canon DSLR in the history of ever. That's right, ever. And it's probably going to be the last DSLR, the last great pro DSLR from Canon. I do suspect that a lot of sports shooters for the agencies and for the Olympics are going to still continue to stay with the DSLR because they don't want to go to an A9, though there is a lot of mirrorless tendencies inside of this camera. Now, Canon had 3 news updates for their mirrorless cameras, starting with that they are working on future high-end EOS Rs plus new sensors for their mirrorless cameras, working on IBIS as well as new RF lenses, which leads me to 2 RF lenses. One, the 85DS, which we already knew about, is priced at $29.99, which is $300 more than the 85 1.2 RF. And the most important lens that we've all been waiting for to finish up the Hebrew Trinity of RF glass is the 70-200 2.8, which will not have internal zooming. It has external zooming, but internal focusing will be priced at $26.99, which actually isn't that bad when you consider the Nikon 70-200 2.8 f mount is $2,800. But that begs the question, do you buy the 70-200 2.8 version 3IS for $2,100 and adapt it to your EOS R cameras? Or do you spend the more money and get the smaller, more compact, probably sharper 70-200 2.8 RF? I'll leave that one to you. I'm personally spending money on the RF, but if you don't need to spend the money on that because you have the version 3, then just go with the version 3. So that's a lot of stuff. We will get you a preview, hopefully a real world review as soon as we can get our hands on a real production camera. There's no word on price and no word on when it will be released, but if I had to guess, it's going to be in 2020. That's when I think it will be released, in the first part. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Jared, PolandFronosPhoto.com. See ya.